Welcome back, guys, to my channel, and we're gonna talk about Scentsy Club because I talk about it all the time, and you're probably like, I don't, what is it? I don't understand. Like, you're harassing me. Please stop. But what is it? In this video, I'm gonna go over what Scentsy Club is, all the pros and cons, and it's more like be mindful of some things of Scentsy Club. Not really a con in my opinion, but I'm still gonna do it because I'm all about transparency, as well as how to set it up. So let's go. What is Scentsy Club? So Scentsy Club is a auto ship service that will automatically ship anything. I have hair in my mouth. Okay. It will automatically ship anything consumable. So anything that you use with Scentsy that you will always need to be reordering, you can get through the club. You're always ordering bars every month or every 2 months or every 3 months. You can set it up that way, and you also get a lot of perks, like a lot. Way more than what I consider a con. I'm just gonna say that. But overall, it's definitely worth it in my opinion. I have a club, and I can guarantee you quite a bit of consultants in general also have their own club, and I'm gonna go through all of the perks that you can get with it. All of the perks I'm gonna be listing out are, to me, what I feel is most valuable and the most worth out of the Scentsy Club. And the first one, which is the most I get complaints about the most, is shipping. So, and that's not shipping of club, shipping of just online orders. So when you order on my website, it's $10 for anything that you want to do, which I get it. If you're buying like a $5 pack of 3 bulbs, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I'm not gonna want to spend that either. Side note, if you need a bulb, I guarantee you a lot of consultants probably have them on hand. And so instead of ordering online, just reach out to them. They'll probably have it and be happy to bring it to you. But with the shipping that comes through Scentsy Club, it's actually discounted. So online, you get it for 10, through the club, you get it for 8. So hey, $2 and save on shipping. You can have multiple subscriptions. You can have one that's going every month, every 2 months, or every 3 months. So if you only need something that's every 3 months and you need something that's every month, you can have multiple subscriptions go. The order that you have that's over $30 automatically gives you 10% off. So you know, when we have the transition months happening, which is actually happening in August right now, or even typically in February, guess what? You get that all the time, and you can't get those types of sales through there, only through transition on my website, but you can get it through the club. One of my most favorites is you get a half off item. So anything that's over $60 in your club, which I do, I get a half off item. So what do I use with my half off item? I use my air filters. But you can use, the only way you can get your whiff box half off is through the club. So if you already have a club order that's over $60, you can use that half off item for the whiff box. And seriously, the whiff box is almost always over $40 in value, and if you're able to get it for $17.50, what? There is a referral program that you guys are a part of, which also helps you get things even more cheaper, or even some things free or half off. So the referral program is for every point, every dollar that you purchase through the club equals a point. You get double the points when you refer some of your friends and family to the club as well. So you will have a unique referral link that you can share, and that link can be given to anybody that wants to set up their own club. And guess what? You get points off of their club orders. And you can get like free stuff, half off. You can apply it to future club orders. I mean, what? And probably the most biggest perk when it comes to the Scentsy Club is what is called Always Get My Bar. So Always Get My Bar is a program where you can get bars that are no longer available. So while they are available, that's the key, they have to be currently available. You can add them to your club. So once they sell out or they go into the vault, they will continue to keep making it for you. To give you some examples of what is in my club, I have the North Calls, which is from the Frozen collection, which I can't remember when this came out, to be honest. It's probably last year or the year before. I don't really remember, but I've had it in my club since then. It's not even available anymore, but I get it still. And Forever Yours, which if you follow any of my channels, you know Forever Yours is my ultimate favorite scent. And when it became available on the Bring Back My Bar, which either was last year or the year before, I immediately put it in the club. So I get these scents every 3 months. I never have to worry about them selling out, not being available, having to vote them back. Let's not get started with that. I get them every 3 months, and I never have to worry about it. Bricks there's two interesting things that Scentsy has to offer through the club when it comes to bricks. One of them is a lot of your classic scents can be purchased as a brick through the club. So we're talking about like black raspberry vanilla, vanilla bean buttercream, even some of the scents that you can't even get in a bar anymore either. So like sea salt and avocado, sugar cookie, or purpley pomegranate are not even available as a bar, but you can get them as a brick through the club. Speaking of bricks, on top of that, when we have seasonal bricks, like usually there's some in the spring and there's some in like the winter, fall time. And by the way, there are some bricks coming out later in the fall. You'll be able to get them as bars, not as bricks through the club. So if you really want to try some of the new bricks that are coming out in the fall, but you don't want to purchase the actual bricks until you know you like them, you can actually go through the club, add them as the bar, get them, see if you like them, and then you can purchase them as a brick, or just keep the bar in your club and you'll keep making them as a bar even when they sell out. Now we're gonna do the cons. So I don't really think that these are actual cons to me. I just think they just need to be aware of, and so you know. And I will give you a price comparison on one of these so you can see that it's really not that big of a difference when you can bundle. So on the website, we have a lot of bundles. So we have like the 6-pack bars, 3-packs, stuff like that, Laundry Love, stuff like that. That's on our actual website, but through the club, you cannot bundle anything like that. However, I don't really mind it because all of the perks that you get through the club personally totally outweighs it. So, but I will show you some price comparison of a 6-pack of bars if you were purchased on my website versus purchasing through the club. And the other price comparison will be if you purchased a 6-pack of bars and a whiff box versus purchasing the same thing through the club. And you'll be able to see the two price difference. So when the half off item comes into play, it makes a huge difference in how much you're going to be saving. Plus, you also get the point systems, which can be applied to it later. So like I said, the bundles, while yes, you do save on the website when it comes to that, but when it comes to the club, you actually end up saving a little bit more. One of the biggest things to be very mindful of is that with Always Get My Bar perk, if you were to skip a subscription, like say if you don't have the funds for it or you just don't need it right now, if you were to skip it more than once in a 12-month rolling year, you'll lose the bars. So keep in mind that when you are skipping an order, because yes, you can skip a subscription. So if everything in your subscription is current and you want to skip it, it's not going to be affected. But if you haven't Always Get My Bar, which honestly, I mean, that's a lot of the reason why many people even start a club order is because they want the Always Get My Bar feature, you might lose your bars. And if your card declines and you don't realize it and you end up losing the order, you might also lose the bars with it. It's happened. Let's not talk about it. The other thing to be very mindful of is that if you have multiple subscriptions, like you have one that's every month or every 2 months, or one that's every month and every 3 months, if they fall on the same month, which usually they will, especially if you have a 1 month and then you have a 2 or a 3 month, you still pay multiple shippings. You still pay shipping on each one of them. So just keep that in mind. I actually had one that was every month and I had one that was every 3 months because I didn't need the bars as much, but I needed the filters. And I ended up not really wanting to pay shipping twice. So I just combined everything and put it all into the 3 month, and I just go with that instead now, which works for me because during the 3 months I add bars and take bars out and move things around. So by the time it processes, a lot of times I forget I even have certain scents in there. So when I get it, it's all like, oh, I totally forgot about that scent. So that's usually what I do because it gives me a little bit of buffer time to save up the money for it because it's a little bit of a big order. We're not going to talk about that right now. So one of the things I recently learned was if you were to set up a Scentsy Club and you want it to be for 3 months from now, you still have to actually process the order either in the month you're ordering, or it just flipped back, or in the following month. So I have a 3-month subscription already set up. So when I was going in there and kind of messing around with Scentsy Club, I realized like, oh, you can add bars and it won't process till September and everything's great. And then I had somebody ask me more about it, and then I realized, oh, no, that's because I already had a subscription. So like June, July, and August, I can add bars to that 3-month subscription and not have to pay anything because it won't process till September. But when you're setting up a brand new one, you do have to have it processed either in the month that you're ordering it or in the following month, and then it goes to 3 months. I had to learn that a little bit of the hard way. So keep that in mind. So if you really don't need everything that you're putting in your club, But yeah, you still have to set it up, but you don't want it to process right now. You got to keep that in mind that it will process. So you can always start it, add a little bit of stuff to it, and then once it's processed, then go back and add everything else you want, and then it'll process into 3 months from there. So now we're going to get into how do you actually set up a Scentsy Club order. So the first thing I want to do is go to my website and log in. If you have never ordered on my website or never ordered through Scentsy period, this is the time to set one up, because you're going to need to be able to set up this part before you get into the Scentsy Club area. So once you've logged into it, you're going to want to click on your Scentsy Club. Once you've clicked on your Scentsy Club, then you're going to be able to pick which subscription you want to start. So you've never actually started one, you could pick a 1 month, a 2 month, or 3 month. I already have a subscription on the 3 months, so I can add to that. So like if you already have a subscription and you're just wanting to add things to it, once you log in and click on your Scentsy Club, you will go to the subscription and start adding more items through there. But if you're setting it up completely new, you need to pick out which process do you want. Do you want it every month, every 2 months, or every 3 months? You can also pick your processing date as well. So if you want it more in the beginning of the month, or if you want it more in the end of the month, you can pick that as well. For this purpose, we're going to pretend to do a new subscription. So we're going to do a new subscription every single month. The next part is where you get to shop. So you see lots of different things. You see the Scentsy brick, you see the whiff box, you see the scent of the month, you see the promotions, everything. So I'm going to try to key point on some of the important ones that you might want to be paying attention to. So the first one is the brick. So like earlier in the video, this is where you can add your bricks to it. You can see all of the scents available that are going to be in the bricks. Scentsy whiff box, which by far is my favorite, that is where you're going to add your whiff box. So the scent of the month is not going to actually have a photo of the bar or what the scent is, because every single month it's different. So if you like getting a different scent every single time your subscription runs, you can add the scent of the month to it and you will just get whatever it is for that month. So like right now is pink leather. So if you had a subscription in this month, you would get pink leather. But if you were to process it and have it do it for September, you would get September scent of the month, which is, I believe, frosted cinnamon roll, which sounds amazing. Promotions is where you're going to find all of the limited collections, all of the like bricks stuff. So if we had certain types of bricks available right now, you would find the bar of that scent and under the promotions. A lot of like the Bring Back My Bar will be listed under here. All of that is commonly where I probably end up going, because most of the time when I'm adding stuff from these collections. And yes, like I mentioned, with some of the scents, you can add licensed scents to these. Everything else is just catalog stuff. So like the bars, the cleaners, the laundry, the cotton cleanups, which don't ever forget them. All the oils, the fragrance flowers, all of those things that are from the catalog will be in there. I remember checking at one point and any of the collection stuff that was like cleaners were not in there. So I believe like this part of it is all going to be simply just catalog items. So if you wanted some of the limited collections like the cleaners, you would have to go through me online or your consultant to get all of those things, but everything else you can't. I think from my understanding, from what I'm assuming, is because these items can sell out through the website, and once they sell it, they're gone. So they can't actually have them in the club because it's not guaranteed. So let's say you have it and you have it processing in 2 months from now, and then that's a limited collection that's already sold out. They're not going to be able to stock it. So that's most likely what I'm going to assume, that's why they don't have that. But the bars will be in there, so you don't have to worry about the bars, because we want the bars. Come on, let's be real. Once you finish adding everything into your cart that you want to do, you would want to view your cart so that way you can start the process of what all you need. So when you notice on the screen when you're starting picking things, Scentsy has a nice little banner that tells you if you're super close to either getting your discount or the half off item. So if you already got to $60, this is where you're going to be able to pick your half off item. So you would just click on it and then go through and pick out what you want. Most common things is the more expensive stuff. So like your air filters, your whiff box, the laundry tub, anything that's like the bricks, any of those kind of things that are a little more expensive is usually what the half off item is going to be used for, which to me is your biggest bang for your buck. And then from this process, you would just enter all your payment information and you're good to go. If you want to make changes to your club, then all you would need to do is go back to my website or Scentsy.com or your consultant's website, log in, go to your Scentsy Club, and then go from there and pick the subscription you want to make changes to, and then go from there. If you were to skip anything or make changes of like the Always Get My Bar bar, it usually will pop up and tell you, hey, you're about to lose this, and kind of warn you. Scentsy does do emails letting you know, hey, it's time for you to make sure you're good on your subscription and you want to make any changes because your window is closing in. And I think it's usually 10 to 14 days prior to processing is when you cannot make any changes. But if you do make changes, it won't be applied to the subscription that's going to be processing. It will just be applied to the future club orders. So, you know, it's not going to, like, you know, everything's not going to implode if you end up making changes past the date and the window's already closed. If you do have products in there that are in the catalog that are like laundry and clean or flowers or whatever, and all of those scents are being discontinued because, like, right now we're in the transition months, so a lot of the spring summer stuff is leaving. Any of the products that you have in your club that are not bars, Scentsy will let you know that these products are going to be discontinuing. You will not be able to get them anymore, so that way you can go in and make changes. So if it's processing this month, you're good, but if your order isn't going to process until September, you're going to need to go back in there and make changes to the scents, and so that way you can continue to get them, or wait until the new catalog has dropped and all the new products are available, so that way you can go in and change and add the newer scents in there. And also remember that if you decide, hey, I have this every month, I don't need it every month, you can make changes to it. Like I mentioned, I had one that was every month and one that was every 3 months, so I went in there and just moved all of my 1 month stuff over into my 3 month, and that was it. That way it kind of made it a little bit easier for me. Some of the things to just remember, like I throughout the whole thing, was like, always get my bar. If you were to remove them out of your cart, out of your order, and they're no longer available, you lose them. You cannot get them anymore. You would have to wait for them to come back, whether if it's a re-release of a collection or if they get voted back. And let's not talk about that, because sometimes those scents don't ever come back and you'll never be able to get them again, and we just don't want to talk about that. And last but not least, don't forget that the referral link is uniquely yours, and you can share it with your friends and family, and that way they can take advantage of Scentsy Club and you get points for their orders. And what's even better, which is probably one of the most coolest things with Scentsy, is that let's say you decide to become a consultant, guess what? Your club order now is yours, and it rolls over to you, and anybody that you set up through that referral link will also continue to you as well, so you will not lose any of them. And if your friends and family were to refer people as well, and let's say that person no longer wants to do club and cancels it, those people that they referred moves up to you as well. I think that covers everything when it comes to Scentsy Club. It's a lot of information and it's a lot of things to know, so if you have any questions or if I forgot something, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks!